The Houben family. Racing pigeon fanciers. Itegem, Belgium. Jeff's father, Gerard, had pigeons in the early 1920s, and although keen and enthusiastic, he never reached the very top. By profession, he was a master mason and was known more for his ability to build magnificent lofts than for his race performances. More importantly for our story, Gerard married the daughter of a champion pigeon fancier. Thus, Jeff's grandfather on his maternal side was one Man de Belder, a top fancier with a great family of pigeons based on the birds of Van Solmans, of Berlaar. Followers of the Jansen brothers of the Arendonk family will realize that this is the same Van Solmans who supplied the base birds of the Jansen strain. Even as a child, Jeff was drawn to the pigeons and spent many hours in the company of his grandfather, and at the same time took more and more responsibility at his father's loft. Jeff is proud that even today his #1 breeding pair of Young Artist and Sissy can be traced back over 50 years to the Solmans' blood in his grandfather's loft. At the same time, he acknowledges that later introductions from his great friend, the late Stan Raymakers, birds from Frans Stoss's. Also, Albert Everards, along with a recent interchange of birds with Karel Hufkens, Dahmer Verbruggen, Jos Verkammen, and Floor Engels have all helped to create the Houben family of pigeons. We never compete for averages. In the past, we lost some championships because we kept our pigeons home from one or more races. I know that some fanciers enter pigeons in every race because they try to be in every possible championship. We are not like that. My father always used to fly for the money. Many years ago, we could fly pigeons in 3 or more different clubs, and my father went to the clubs where there was a lot of money to win. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but most of the time my father won a lot of money. Most of these race results, even from 30 to 40 years ago, are still kept at my parents' home. So, competing for championships or averages has never been important to us. We normally have 12 middle distance races for old birds per year. In 2002 we did not send any widowhood cocks in the first 2 races because it was too cold. We knew from then on already that we would not win any championships or ace birds, but this was not a problem. We like to fly pigeons in good weather conditions, and we know they can win then. The winner of the $1 million race in South Africa, 35 degrees Celsius, 630 kilometers, is a pure Houben. The winner of the Thailand Open Championship is a 50% Houben, 35 degrees Celsius, 500 kilometers, very high humidity. We fly our pigeons on widowhood. 56 old birds and yearlings and about 10 hens, 150 young birds natural plus separated sexes. Most of the lofts are made of stone covered with wood. We also have some new lofts now, and they are completely made of wood. I do not know the total length, but it is very long. Probably 300 feet. All our lofts have a tiled roof. In the last 2 years, we have changed some old lofts that were 25 to 35 years old, and we built them up again. Every loft has a tiled roof, and we don't want anything else. I think that the new lofts we have now are fantastic. There is very good ventilation and no drafts. Dry during the winter time and cool during the summer. Just perfect. Altogether we have 48 stock pairs. Normally we breed from our racers 1 round of youngsters every year. It is difficult to say how long you have to wait before you know if a pigeon is a good producer. That is, Rico B92-60747000 was never raced, but we put him on the stock loft in 1993. Between 1993 and 1997 we never had one very good pigeon from him. He bred mostly hens and they got some prizes but nothing very special. In 1998 we paired him with Fiara, and with this hen, he bred many winners. Normally we don't give them so many chances, but since this was a beautiful cock from our best breeding pair, you know, they always get some more credit. The maximum we breed from one stock pair is 2 rounds for ourselves, so the maximum of 4 young birds. Normally if a cock doesn't breed winners for 2 maximum 3 years, then he has to go. We also change our breeding pairs many times. We always pair up the pigeons at the end of November or the beginning of December for two reasons. 1. Because everyone pairs up this time. If we pair up later, then these pigeons are too young to race against the other young birds later. If they are like 1 month younger, then a lot of them get lost when they start loft flying. 2. The young bird racing season begins already half of May, and if we only pair up in January, then we cannot start racing in May. Not from the breeders but from the widowhood cocks we take the hens and youngsters away together when the youngsters are only about 16 to 17 days old, so just before the hen will lay her first egg. This is when we breed in winter, so December, January. We have some good medication against young bird sickness. Almost every specialized vet in Belgium has got good medication now. I think that every fancier in Belgium had some problems with young bird sickness once in a while. Most of the problems are at the beginning of the season, the first 2 to 3 races, because most of the young birds get sick from the stress. We always race our young birds. Most of the cocks are raced until 300 miles, a few until 370 miles. We do not like to fly them a lot because we need them for racing as yearlings. Since we only fly about 10 hens as yearlings, we do not need many yearling hens, so on the longer races we send more hens than cocks. I think it is better not to fly the young bird cocks too much if you want to fly them for 4 or 5 years as we do. Our criteria for selections: good race records as young birds. B. Beauty. C. Pedigree. No grills on the floor or in the boxes. We scrape the coops twice a day. It is a lot of work, but we think it is best. I do not think there are any bad effects of vaccination in long term. I just think it is better for the pigeons. All our pigeons are vaccinated against paramyxo once a year, and our racers, old birds and yearlings, are vaccinated against pox once a year. Pigeons always have plenty of grits and minerals and also pick stones. We refresh it at least 3 times per week. We also put some salt in the loft and they like to eat some of it too sometimes. We scrape twice a day. It is important for the pigeons to have plenty of room. Unfortunately, it is not always possible. We have 4 coops for widowhood cocks, 3 by 12 and 1 by 20. On the young bird lofts, we put about 30 to 35 pigeons. It is normally too much, but since we lose a lot of young birds in training and racing, we have to breed enough. We breed about 130 young birds from the first round and about 70 from the second round. Old bird and yearling widowhood cocks are fed individually according to the races they have to go to. The young birds are fed together. After about 1 hour we take the food away. They normally get 1 soup spoon per pigeon. We always fly southwest, so I do not know the difference. It is always good to fly pigeons in partnership because the sport is getting so specialized at this moment that it is almost impossible to win for someone who has to go to work the whole week. Unless you have a wife who can take care of the pigeons during the day, so loft flying, scraping some lofts, etc. Of course, everybody has a different opinion, but we always look for a compromise. The only problems we have are during the racing season if they expect some bad weather. Should we send all the pigeons or just some of them? If we only send a few, then what pigeons do we need? The best pigeons to win the race. Our father is the boss and he takes all decisions. I think it is better like this. Sometimes we have a different point of view, but we always talk about it and we try to take a decision that is best for the pigeon. You can consider us to be a professional team because we try to do everything as good as we can, and all the family is involved with the pigeons, so this means 7 people. We all have our own team to take care of. My father has never believed in any eye theory. He likes a beautiful colored eyes, but we have bred winners from all kinds of eyes. We do not even know what to look for in a pigeon's eye. I believe that some people can see more than others, but first you have to look at the pigeon itself, and the last thing to look at is the eye. We believe that the eye is important, no doubt. My father got the Kletskopje hen from Gomer Verbruggen, then he could choose from 4 different hens. At that time the pigeons were molting very hard and they were not nice at all. The only reason why my father took this hen was that she had such a beautiful colored eye. Through the years we have had many visitors, some had an eye theory, others had a wing theory, etc. My father always says, I only have one theory, the basket theory. It is the only theory that has never let me down. The only preventative medication that we give is against trichomoniasis. We have never had problems with worms or coccidiosis. All the pigeons are vaccinated at the beginning of the year against paramyxo and pox. If a pigeon becomes ill, then we will always try to cure it. If it does not get better, then it has to go. In 1998 we had problems with the adenovirus on one of our young bird lofts. We had 2 nest brothers with adeno, they were from one of our best breeding pairs. My sister worked very hard on them and they became better. As yearlings and 2-year-olds they won several first and second prizes. In 1996 we had a cock that broke both his legs as a young bird. Normally we should have killed it, but we gave him a chance and worked very hard on him also. As a yearling and 2-year-old he won 5 first prizes. One of them 5 minutes ahead. Own family, based on 50 years of breeding and racing. Every year we try some new pigeons from some top flyers. We give them 2 to 3 years, and if they do not breed winners then they have to go. Our family of pigeons is very inbred to young artists, so we have to get some fresh blood once in a while. We go to a pigeon flyer who is winning for 10 years or longer and someone who wins with old birds. We never buy pigeons from a young bird specialist. Our pigeons normally have to fly for 4 to 5 years. So, a good family of pigeons is also inbred like ours and a fancier that you can trust. Many good racers have never bred winners themselves. This is very important. We once had a son from young artist that never won a prize as a young bird or yearling, but he produced several winners. Our pigeons do best on beautiful hot weather races with a headwind. For us it is very easy, the whole family works together. This is one of the reasons why we have been so successful.
mi gente.